It's December. I'm pretty surprised, to be honest. So, collection video time. This time I'm gonna do it a little different. If you're on Facebook, you've maybe seen a post or two that I've done of just laying everything out and saying this is the order of if I had to sell things, I would start selling it. I might have even made a post here on YouTube. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's how this one's gonna go. So maybe I'll stay a little more focused, kind of go fidget by fidget, gonna be in line. I'm gonna be pulling things out of the case and putting them down in order. The idea of, I don't know, ranking my fidgets this way came to me of my wife. I was just playing with this thing one day and she was like, you know, if we were ever homeless, that'd probably be the last thing I would ever ask you to sell. You know, it just kind of came up randomly out of nowhere and I was like, you know, it's probably one of the last things I would want to get rid of too. I don't know, it's pretty special, much more than just the fidget. So then it got me thinking about everything else, and it's kind of a nice way to prioritize my collection. Doesn't really have anything to do with replacing if lost or like anything like that. It comes down to sentimental value, actual value if I were to sell it, how much I use it and everyday carry it, and then also kind of redundancies in my collection. Like if I have a lot of a couple things like the top C, some of the good ones are going to be down there at the bottom because they're higher value and I have multiple top C's. Like custom wraps, I've only got one that's custom. So this one, we're going to go ahead and get started right here. Probably next to the last thing I would sell will be this lovely copper fuse. It's number 69. It's imbalanced. It's got a perfect patina. Literally perfect. Okay, here you are. Look at it. Man. This thing is incredible. It's such a fast spinner. A lot of inertia, lots of grip. I carry it, I mean, almost all the time. The only time I won't is if I end up with 2 tri-spinners in the fanny pack and I still want to carry a bar and I want to carry maybe the edamame or something, and it'll just get edged out. I mean, I'll give it a rest because I really do carry it and use it. It's a lot. It's a great spinner. The next that I would hold on to, I guess, is the Tungsten Amaryllis by Conceptual Designs. This has been in my collection for, I think, longer than anything in my box. It's had these buttons on it for a very long time. They're zirconium. I made them, you know, from scratch. But now it's got these tungsten buttons, and it totally just took it to the next level. I halfway made these buttons. I haven't done a full update or video on them or anything, but these were from the ones that came with Eric's collection of all the things that I'm helping him sell. These started as 2 EDC triangle buttons. They were just totally flat on the top, so no dish, and it was just a single chamfer. And I ended up rounding them and dishing them out, making the dish too deep on accident and making it to the bore where the threads are, just like I did here. These have got reworked a couple times, but I got greedy. I even calculated it. I can reach over here and grab it. I just did quick math notes. That's how thick they were. That's how deep the bore is on the threads. So maximally I could go 90 thousandths deep on the dishing. And I was like, okay, I'll be safe and go 80. And then while I was doing it, I measured like 81 or 82 on my like depth gauge. And I was like, I'm gonna make a couple more passes. I literally got greedy and then a hole appeared. So I just went even deeper and bored the hole out and pressed in some 3/32 size rubies. I'm not hating that. My goal was to not do holes or rubies, but to be honest, I think I really do like having that central spot to feel and let it rest on. So enough about the buttons. The spinner is, man, it's really comfortable. It's just the right size. I think it weighs like 125 grams now. Hang on, let me see. I've only weighed this once or twice since I've made these buttons for it. It really is like, I've been using this thing so much since I put the buttons on it. Yeah, 128 basically. It's such a good weight. And it's the right size. Like, it has a good size to weight ratio and weight distribution. Its moment of inertia to weight ratio is really good. So it like slaps and thumps whenever it comes to a stop. Even after it's been spinning for a minute, you can kind of let it like fight it and whatever, and then it still gives a good thump. It's an excellent spinner. I wish more of these were available to people. Like, I absolutely like covet this thing. Like, man, I'd be really torn between these two, having to sell them. But I think just because, I don't know, we're gonna leave it there because that's what I put it down as. I kind of pre-laid out what I was doing with this, like a couple days ago, and then this morning, and I'm gonna put these out because I'm gonna talk about it a little bit. Had these two out before the edamame, because I was giving myself diversity in my top 5. Like, this is a pretty solid top 5 carry for me right here. But if I had to start selling things, I think I really do enjoy the edamame more than these two. Maybe not quite as much as these two, believe it or not. It's really good with these stonewash buttons, and it's such a, to be as heavy as it is, it's like 210 grams now or something. It is still so easy to spin quickly. Like, there's other spinners that weigh less than this. I would even say the squid here. We'll get to that in a minute. Like, it weighs less than this, but I feel like I can still spin the edamame faster. I mean, I'm pretty sure I can, like, with actual more RPMs and more speed. And this thing absolutely just slaps. So I really think I enjoy the edamame in tungsten, full tungsten. Modified the buttons. Yeah. More than these two, which I guess I'll get to now. The Top C is absolutely one of my favorite fidgets of all time. I mean, that's why I've got so many of them, collecting pretty much all the medals. And it's really great. It's got really good clicks now that it's got all tungsten carbide balls in it. I've given it a light etch. I don't know if it's been back on the channel since I've shown that or talked about it. Surely. How close can I get here? Yeah. Maybe you can see the very slight texturing that it has now. Very light patina. I use it pretty consistently, so it doesn't have much time for patina to actually form. Really good tune on this now. I spent a lot of time with it the other day. Still has been up there in my top 5 consistently for a long time now, but yeah. It's even better now with this current tune. Behind that would be this older titanium Top B. It's number 119. My birthday. Kind of cool. Got a Teflon plate, tungsten carbide balls, 2 brass cups, and all of the same piano wire springs, kind of like the medium height. You can just hear little spring like ting noises. Really like the sounds. It's not hard on my ears, no matter how loud I make it or noisy it is. It's got the right amount of grip. I like the asymmetry here. I love this aesthetically. I've got these little dog hairs. I keep finding them in my case, and it's okay. It's yeah, this is really good. I've laid this out a couple times, and I even had this like, I think I had it as my number 2 at one point, because I only paid, I think, like $60 for it or something. Like, it's so cheap. Like, why would I want to sell it? You know what I mean? But I think as far as enjoyment goes, when you factor that into this, it's going to make it right there. So then, it does get a little more tricky from here. So I've got so many redundancies with the Top C. I've got this Cocoon XL that's now been stonewashed. That's the stainless steel one that I got from Eric. It's got a really smooth Nibiru 2.0 hybrid ceramic bearing in it. It's ultra smooth, like so smooth that it like I feel something when I do this. Like, this makes me happy. I am really playing with it a lot. You know, I usually like higher feedback spinners and bearings, but there's something about the fluidity of this one. The size, the weight, you know, it doesn't weigh very much. It's like, oops, sorry about that. It's my water timer. It's like 70 something grams. So it's very fast for a tri-spinner, but it's on the bigger side. And it's very thin. So I'm kind of like honeymooning with this one still. So I would not like, and I got a, like, Eric's gave me a great deal on it. This is basically, I guess you would say this is like my compensation for helping him sell his collection. You know, I'm paying for most of the shipping, and once we get to a certain point, this will be like paid off, I guess you could say. So I'm really enjoying this. Gonna wild card it for a second while I think about maybe I think this would be actually, I would hold on to the tungsten flux. Got a brass body flux. It's needs some parts in the drawer, but probably hold on to the flux above this cocoon now that I'm looking at everything. Yeah, I definitely would. It's excellent. So dang smooth, and it's comfortable. The size is great for the weight. Has a great moment of inertia. It slaps just like all this other stuff up here. Yeah, I would hold on to the flux that has copper buttons, titanium body, tungsten balls with Makume inlays, and I've tumbled the buttons and the balls recently just to catch you up on that thing. Yeah, I would hang on to that. It's really good. So then, yes, I would put the cocoon right here with it. I've already kind of talked about that, I guess. And these are both smooth guys. It's interesting, kind of realizing that. Next thing I would hold on to would be Zerk Top C. This has a really excellent tune on it. I am going to drink water. 1 second. That feels way better. My throat was getting a little bit dry. I've had the heater running here in the shop because it's been kind of cold, so this air is definitely on the drier side. This one's got a pretty light tune, and there's brass cups on all the springs. I finally found some springs in all of my, well, giant mess of springs and bags that allows it to be light with all the brass cups, so you get that springy feel. I know words aren't going to describe it well. It's really nice. There's a lot of grip with the blasted Zerk. Good sound. Definitely hang on to that guy. I think next would be, ooh, this is getting tough. I kind of want to start working backwards, but at the same time I might hold on to this. I think maybe, yeah. I'd probably keep this stainless bubble, which will be a stainless top B soon. I'm gonna sell this once that one comes in the mail. Should be here on Monday. It's Friday right now. I mean, it's got a stonewash finish, all stainless internals, so it's not too loud, but it's got this really glidey feel to it, and it's got really strong haptics without being piercingly loud. I don't know if you can hear that. That's my bone, my elbow, conducting into the desk. Really good haptics on this. I've actually been enjoying this thing a lot. Like, a lot. Next would probably be this Valkyrie. Doesn't have a very high value, so why would I, sell it early on? I really enjoy it now with this Golden Eagle bearing, I guess is what they're called. It's a U-groove, so it can be hard to get centered in some spinners. I ordered a couple more of these off Amazon. They were only $2.50 a piece, a 2-pack for $5. So I'll kind of let you guys know how they are, but it's super fast, resists judder really well, the bearing. The spinner is also good at that, being fast, resisting judder for being a bar. But it's so fast with this bearing. It's a really good combination. I tried this Golden Eagle bearing in the Cocoon, and I don't think anything else. Yeah, just those two. And it was okay in the Cocoon, but I honestly like it more in this thing. So yeah, I would hold on to this guy. These two are here basically because of value. Like, I really enjoy them, and they're pretty cheap. So they edge out something like this. Like, this thing is beautiful, and I love it, and it's got really good haptics. It makes a lot of noise. It's super smooth, but it's also on the pricey side. So this has got some value, you know? I would probably off of it, because there's two above it. One that's on the cheaper side with also great haptics and sound, and one that's beautiful with great haptics and sound. I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah. This one's, man, I would really hate to ever let that thing go. So this is kind of going to be like a run of top C's right here. The next one I'd probably hang on to would be this Cooper nickel one. That's got a very soft stone wash on it. Super matte, soft, grippy texture. It's got an Ultim ZZ plate. All these other ones have ZZ plates as well. Stainless steel plates, Zerk plate. Back to this one. Ultim ZZ plate, and it has all glass balls on conical springs. And one of those balls on the springs is actually a 1/8 inch sapphire. It's kind of a detail I'll leave out because it gets a little more complicated as far as sourcing that. So this is a kind of hard tune to replicate for some people. If you don't have 1/8 inch sapphires, then it's going to be hard to get this exact tone. But the glass and Ultim mixed with the Cooper nickel really has this special smooth, clicky, watch-like mechanical feel. Like, it's so precise and crisp. Glass and Ultim is a great combination. So this one kind of hangs on because it's cheaper. Actually, I'm sitting here looking at the Puffer Crash. I think it might be next. Or I might have glossed over this Wrapped. This might get scooted in here somewhere. The Sphera Wrapped. It's got a stainless steel body, ceramic balls that are free floating. It's the V1 style plates because the balls in Sphera, obviously. It has 3D printed inserts, custom made by Alfonso. He's on Facebook. So it's got a hybrid magnet setup, 3 clicks. Really awesome slider. Super unique with the magnet spacing that the V1 allows with hybrid setups. It's really, really good. I don't pick it up as much as I feel like I should because I have this guy. I think it's gonna go right there. That actually makes a lot of sense. I like spinners a lot. I don't know if you can tell. Like, the Wrapped is a great fidget, and that's why it's my number one, but there's a lot of spinners up here that I would hang on to. So maybe that would bump the Cooper nickel down, and I would put the Puffer Crash here. Got some pretty decent value, but it's very, like, niche. You know, it's not very loud. It has very good use cases. Even though I don't really carry it that much anymore, yeah, I still enjoy it whenever I pick it up, even though I don't carry it. It's a weird thing. I really only, if I'm going to an event, I carry it. If I'm going, like, somewhere where I'm concerned I could be loud with something, it comes with, 100%. Or if it's even a place that I know I'm gonna kind of have elevated, like, stress or anxiety levels. That's really good for that because it doesn't take any brain power to use this thing. You get good feedback on your hands, like a good tactile feel. There's good haptics. Yeah. I would hang on to this thing. Maybe, I mean, now as I'm talking about it and realizing how much I actually like it, this is crazy, but I think I would hang on to it above even, yeah, wow. I'm gonna have to go back and look at the picture that I took of my for sale order, because this is already coming out different as I'm talking myself through all this stuff. Titanium or stainless steel torque bar with copper buttons. I mean, it's an OG, but like I don't really carry it very much. I've just got, there's such a range of bar spinners here in my collection now. I'd probably sell it. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know yet. Let me get these out because I'm more confident about where these go in the lineup. I would sell the Spark just because, I mean, there's so many other top C's up here. This one's polished, so it can be slippery sometimes. That's an issue for me, for sure. So let's put this guy down here. There's two other top B's up here, and this one has pretty decent value. So I'd hang on to it above the torque bar. Why, I don't know. I'd probably sell this Zircuti top C right there along with it. It's I've messed with the tunes on it a good bit, and it's got a great sound, but for some reason I can't get a feel that I also like. Like, I'll either get a feel I like, and then it doesn't have this unique ringy kind of musical sound to it that I'm really not sure translates onto video and camera. But it's got a cool sound, but it's just like, it doesn't feel very smooth. And I've tried using knife pivot lube, and I switched to the ceramics, and that helped, but then it lost the sound. So like, it's kind of a give and take on this thing. Actually, let's do this right here. It's pretty high value. The torque bar doesn't have much value. Then I would do maybe the titanium top C, just because it's kind of, it's not that cool of a metal in my opinion. I don't love titanium. For some reason I love it on this thing, but I think it's just because of the structure of the fidget itself. Maybe the stainless one will come in and disrupt that, we'll see. But the titanium, it's usually in my wife's box. After I record this video, actually, I'm probably going to go put it in her box again. Whenever she went to go see her family last week, and she brought it with her, and I didn't miss it at all. I've only gotten it back in my collection because I stonewashed it, you know, removed all the blue and gave it this, you know, it's got this texture to it now. So I don't enjoy it all that much. This one, as I'm sitting here playing with it, maybe if you watch every one of these videos that I upload and listen to everything, you might have heard in whatever I was doing yesterday, I think I was packing up for a walk. Sometimes I love this thing, sometimes I hate it. Right now, I absolutely love it. I wouldn't want to get rid of this over. Yeah, these are both incredible. God, this thing runs up and down the ranking ladder. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely like the crystallized stainless steel plate, and I put the Ultim plate back in it. I took the peak out. The Ultim is just a little more crisp. Tungsten carbide balls, same piano wire kind of springs. Really, really good. I really like it. I would even, this is crazy, but I would keep it over the wrapped just because I have this wrapped. And this is more valuable. Actually, would I even... Yeah, these are like right here together. This is more satisfying to me right now than this. Wow, this feels really good right now. We're gonna do that. That's crazy. Okay. Well, I've gotten, oh, I forgot about this guy. Got the tungsten squid, fat squid. This is a weird one. I really, really love how it looks, and it's really comfortable, and it's really heavy, so it's like a pleasure to have and to hold and to rip and feel, but its spin performance and its moment of inertia are on the lower side. So it's not a very fast feeling spinner. Like, yes, I can rip it and it's going really fast right now, but whenever I go to stop it, it's really easy to stop. It has a low moment of inertia. The highest portions of mass are relatively close to the button itself. So it's like if you were to make these weight ends into symmetrical condensed shapes, like it just down into a ball, it would be really kind of tight, I think, to the button, if that makes any sense. If you took out the relief and took out these edges and put it in, like, all the weight gets centralized. Get something plastic to point with. All the weight is centralized to this portion right here that I'm kind of circling. Like the tips out here and over in this portion, there's not a lot of mass here. So it acts like a very small spinner. So I've actually gotten curious about the big squid. I picked this up and spin it a good bit, only because I think about, like, this isn't quite as cool as whenever I first got it. That honeymoon phase has definitely passed, especially since I got those tungsten buttons on the Amaryllis. That made this thing just like crash in this whole ranking thing for me. So, like, I would probably even put it, like, right here. Actually, maybe even, like, here. Because, like, spinners, these are pretty high value. If I had to start selling things, like, I'd start getting some money back pretty decently. If I sold these three, that would take the hurt off, right? Collection, that's clear. The case is empty. Sitting here just looking and thinking. Yes. Yeah. Yep. Like, all these get a little muddy. Be really tough to start picking because this is like, I guess $200 to replace. This one was only $65. I didn't pay anything for this thing. This was also only like $50, and I made the buttons for it. So, like, really high enjoyment out of this guy. And also out of this guy. This one's a little on the cheaper end. Sorry, this one's on the more expensive end. I still really enjoy it. I think I would have to still sell it since there's two top Bs in the collection above it. This one would also have to go because of higher value. There's two top Cs in the collection above it. A lot of other really good fidgets, and like King Wrapped is above this. Yeah, yep. These don't have that much value, but they're really good. These have higher value, and they're okay. So this is kind of how I would lay everything out, and it really is kind of in order of use even. Like the top Bs I definitely am cycling through a lot right now. These are not making it into my everyday carry very often. This never does. This really never does. Like this kind of sneaks in every now and then. This doesn't. This is very specific in that top row. I guess this sneaks in and out of my EDC. I need thicker buttons, so it's a bit of a wild card to have up here, but everything up there in the top gets carried and used very, very often. So yeah, that's the collection update for December. The only thing that's going to change by Monday is when the stainless steel version of this comes in the mail, and it'll get tumbled. I was really hoping to be here today for this video, but it's not going to make it. No new fidgets coming. Well, kind of. I'm making a trade this weekend with someone that's local. I'll save that for later. Thanks for watching, guys. This is a little bit of a shorter one for a collection video. Under 30 minutes. Nice. See ya.